What is up, everyone? This is Crackpot Theory, where we share ideas you never knew you needed to know. I'm your host, Will. Today, we are talking about abundance versus scarcity. Why charismatic people get what they want. All right, when you think of someone who's charismatic, what qualities come to mind first? Are they funny, good looking, great communicators? Maybe you envision someone who embodies all of those qualities in some way or another. The main characteristic of a charismatic person is that people feel comfortable and they feel drawn to that person in a way that they rarely are with other people. Why is that? Why are we drawn to charismatic musicians, movie stars, actors, moguls, leaders of all sorts? Why? For some of you, you may think it has to do with the looks, the fame, the wealth, and to some degree, you're right. But you're missing out on something that nobody talks about. Most of the people who we revere in our societies are people who are unafraid of being themselves and standing up for what they believe in, as those cliched quotes often go. But let's ask ourselves a daring question. Why are we enamored by people who are willing to speak their mind and who want to be who they are without fear of judgment from other people? Simply put, it's because most people aren't. The average person is afraid of what people will think of them. From peers to family, friends, and anyone in between, there is no shortage of people who will happily tell you their opinions about you and your life with or without you asking. When you think of all the potential people to disappoint or upset with your goals and your dreams and personality, it can be overwhelming to say the least. Witnessing a person who embodies the bravery most of us wish we had actually makes us hopeful and believe that there's something more and that it's possible for us and our selfish desires to be authentic. Deep down in the core of what makes us human is yearning for a hero, someone who takes on the dragon and stands up against all odds to achieve a goal and to save the world. But this goes even deeper than what you're thinking, way deeper. To the regular person hearing this, you know how difficult life can be, from the obligations of work, family, stresses, day-to-day life. There are no shortage of burdens to carry and obstacles to overcome. The charismatic leader embodies not only the hope of a person who has something more tangible, a higher goal, but they're also a person of perceived higher value. When you imagine a person who you revere, you are by its very definition looking up to that person, meaning you see them in an elevated place of more significance than you. You're asking yourself, why does this matter? Because the person who makes us laugh, inspires us to do better, be better, and teaches us valuable life skills is a person who isn't trying to take away anything from us. While some may argue that these people are trying to make us part ways with our hard earned money, it's important to remember that most successful people, the ones that are highly acclaimed, are the people that we often refer to as not being in it for the money, which translates into a person who, unlike most people, isn't looking to others for their happiness or inspiration. Allow me to explain it another way. Imagine you walk into a car dealership 2 separate days. Each day you're greeted by a different car salesman. You're not in a huge rush and you like someone who's knowledgeable to help you steer you in the right direction towards getting the best deal. One day, you're greeted with a man who looks rather young. Perhaps maybe he's never even had another job before. Most of your interactions with him feel forced, stiff, and he lacks the real acuity to understand your discomfort in the body language. But despite that, he continues to push you on towards cars that are of little significance to you, and it becomes clear that the sale means a lot more to him than it does to you. Instead of feeling at ease, you instead feel the nervousness from the salesman and how he's looking to you with increased pressure, at this transaction could mean the difference between another cold bowl of cereal or a hot dinner that night. Ultimately, you end up leaving without really knowing why you were so displeased, but ultimately just feeling that it just didn't feel right. You return the next day hoping to find your dream car and a different car salesman. As you walk into the lot, you're calmly greeted by a man who's a bit older than the last. This man is quick to start building rapport with you and figuring out what your needs are. Throughout the whole interaction, it would seem as though this man has done this countless times and couldn't be less worried about the importance of the sale. Everything about his body language and speech reassures you that meeting your desires and your needs are his goals too. By the end of the day, you wind up driving away in the car you wanted, feeling as though you got the best deal possible. Now stop and think about this. Why is it that we often choose to give our resources, money in this case, to the person who appears to need it the least, rather than the person who seems as though they need it the most? It's because of our past. Let me explain. Before society advanced to the point it has now, we were all part of tribes in some form or another. And when you think about a tribe, you know that everyone had a specific role. And there were only so many people at the top, meaning the number of resources, time, food, money, whatever it was, had to be allocated to the person who was best suited to make proper use of them. The leader was someone who could be trusted to make the right decision regarding what to do with limited resources. Putting your money or another scarce resource in the hands of someone who appeared to be lacking or desperate for it could have meant handing over your livelihood to a person who might squander it. The risk for such an event could have meant starvation or even death for you and others. The only way you could be certain your resources were going to the right person was based on subtle clues from the other person and how others viewed them. Doing anything contrary to that could have had devastating consequences. Which is all to say that we are hardwired to not only look for charismatic people, but to put our trust into them. We want to have leaders. We want to have trust in a person's ability to take our resources and do better with them, which means we're always looking for subtle tells as to whether or not a person is truly self-sufficient, or if they're secretly or not so secretly looking to others for their validation. If you want to become a charismatic person and have people look up to you, you need to let go of the need or desire for anyone else to make you happy or to inspire you. As cheesy as it may sound, you have to be the source of your own happiness, and you have to do it for the love, or at least without any real concern about the monetary or physical outcome of the process. And really, when it comes down to it, that's why charismatic people get what they want, because we give it to them. Anyway, that is my crackpot theory for the day. If you enjoy this, please like, comment, subscribe, anything that you can do to spread the message, and let me know your thoughts. Is this as crazy as it sounds? Is this something that makes sense to you? I want to know your feedback, so let me know. Again, this is Crackpot Theory, sharing ideas you didn't know you needed to know. I'm Will, and I will talk to you soon. What is up, everyone?